Good, good.
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
Big Brother's watching, you know. And one of the themes that I saw in these illustrations that God kept putting in my heart were different ways that God was bringing me entrance into different areas. And just let me share a few with you. Remember when I first moved to England? When I moved to England, I honestly didn't know anybody in the nation. And I was moving with teenage children. I took care of my mother, so she was moving with me. I wasn't married at the time. And so here's a single mom picking up her kids, moving to a nation where I didn't know anybody in that place. And, you know, I had people that were very wise, you know, that just said, Sharon, you're operating in presumption. And I said, you know, everything within me tells me I'm not, you know, and if I am, then God will just have to cover my back, you know, in doing it. But I just felt like that this is the time, and I don't want to miss the timing of God. And, you know, I won't go into all the stories, but to get us there, but, you know, convincing teenage kids to go with you and it's going to be good was hard. But we made it there. And I remember when we got there, you know, I didn't have meetings, and I was used to traveling around and ministering, you know, 20-plus days a month. And all of a sudden, you know, I was there for a week, you know, without meetings. Nobody knew me in the country, and yet I'm here. I feel like I'm in obedience to God. And all of a sudden, I was at a conference, and the speakers that were at the conference were very well-known speakers, but you know, they traveled hard, and they came in from different countries, and so they told the host, they said, we don't do afternoon meetings. You know, we'll do the morning and we'll do the night, but we don't do afternoon meetings. And so the host, you know, here he had all these afternoon meetings scheduled for a week, and he didn't have anybody to take them. And so he comes to me and he says, Sharon, he's not even heard me minister. You know, Sharon, would you please take these meetings for us? Will you please help us out? And I said, certainly. And so that afternoon, I started taking the meetings, and I did the rest of the week. Before that week was done, the majority of the rest of my year was filled up. I believe what God is wanting to say is He has ability to take us into different realms and to keep causing us to proceed. And He doesn't want us ever to halt or to stop or to realize that this is the ultimate of maybe what He has for you, because there is always advancement. The very nature of God is you go from glory to glory. You go from faith to faith. You go from one level to the next level, and He's always moving you ahead. And sometimes it takes definitely supernatural means to do so. I remember when a couple years ago, Greg and I were going to Iraq, and they don't let you get a visa ahead of time. You actually have to buy your ticket, arrive in Iraq, then fill out the papers, then pay for it, and just hope they're going to let you in the nation. You can't do it ahead of time. And so we did that, and I'll stand on this side so he won't take the mic away from me. We tell stories differently. But anyway, I'm in the line. And I've got my passport in my hand, you know, and I'm Shandarabaha, you know, God's got to let us in this nation. We know that it's time, you know, to get in and speak some things into the nation. And pastors were drawing from all over and traveling. It was just an incredible time. And so I was praying. And meanwhile, Cindy and Michael Jacobs was part of the team. Us two couples had gone together, and Greg and I, and three of them are just so social. They were just talking to everybody, visiting everybody, and I'm the only one that's standing there in line taking care of business. You know, I mean, shut up, God, you know, let us in this country. Open up a door, open up a door. And anyway, the gentleman in front of me was a very large gentleman, maybe about 6'6". And I couldn't tell by his camouflage outfit that he was on what army he belonged to. And I couldn't even tell by his ethnic features what nation that he represented. But, you know, and he didn't even have a passport or a visa. All he did was have this little card and this little clear pocket that he just showed to everybody, and they just seemed to let him go do whatever he wanted to do. And so I figured this is a man that, I want to ask some information from. And I said, sir, I don't have my visa yet, and I don't know what to do. How do I go about getting my visa and paying my money and making sure they're going to let us in the country? And he's right in front of me, and he's going through customs right before me. He says, well, when you get up there, tell them that you don't need one. And this man spoke with such authority, I thought, I'm going to do it. So he goes through. And I hand the man my visa. I can't find Mike and Cindy and Greg. But I'm getting in the country. I hand the man my visa. And he said, I hand him my passport, and he says, where's your visa? And I said, I don't need one. And he says, how many are in your party? And I said, 5 of us. We had a translator with us. And he says, where's their passports? I go running around and grabbing all of their passports and bringing them up there and giving them to this man. And this man goes, stamp, 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 and sends us all through. And so to this date, there is no record that we have ever been in and out of Iraq. If you looked at our passport, we have a stamp in it, but they have no record that we were ever in or we were ever out. Again, I feel like that the Spirit of God is wanting to talk about the fact that he can take you into any place. He can take you into any realm. He can take you into any level of possibilities that he wants to. But at the same time, he can get you out. I remember being in a situation in Africa, and I was ministering, and, it was so exciting. It's wonderful when you see instantaneous miracles. But, we don't often see blind eyes immediately opening up and things like that. And on this trip, we were seeing so much of that. I got so excited that, as I was ministering, I came off this maybe 6-7 foot platform. I came off, and I came down to the front to stand and minister. Well, I didn't, and I know I'm short. You can't see me in the back, but I'm just going to be here a second. But as soon as I came down, the people came out of their seats, and they ran up to me, and I was pressed at the stage. So much so, and being short, I couldn't even, there wasn't enough room for my lungs to grab a breath. I was being pressed, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't anything, and they were just so desirous, to be touched by God. And so here I was, I was trying to do what the Lord had called me to do, and now I got myself in a dangerous situation, and all of a sudden, I realized this, that the ministers that were sitting on the platform had reached over, grabbed me under the arms, picked me up, and set me back on the platform, without me ever stopping, So God can not only get you in, but God has ability to get you out. Let me talk about another thing. We were in the Ukraine one time. We didn't leave till 2 that afternoon, and it was about 9:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden, I told my traveling companion, I said, we're leaving to the airport. Call the people that are driving us, tell them, don't bother, we're getting a taxi, we're going over, and they can meet us there. And she did, and they said, oh, no, because they want to do all the protocol thing. And, it's wonderful, and it's nice. I said, nope, tell them we're going right now. And the traveling companion I had at the time was never known for her speed. Sometimes I want to get behind her, just wind her up a bit, just to get her moving. But anyway, she started packing and everything, and I said, can't you pack faster? Can't you do this faster? Can't you do that? Finally, I got her out of the hotel. We got in a taxi. We got to the airport. And we were there probably a couple hours before the rest of the team met us there. And when they met us there, the first thing they said was, did you know that your hotel blew up? They said there was a bomb in the room next to yours. Now, the bomb was not set because we were there. It was definitely a terrorism thing, but it was in the room next to us. And then they said that whole side of the building is gone. It's not even there anymore. Now, did I have a thus saith the Lord? No. Did I have a revelation that I could have put into words for anybody? No. But did I have a God